Okay, let's get this pre-John business out of the way, shall we? I didn't get much sleep last night. Yep, but you're not going to catch me complaining about it. A little bit self-imposed on my part. I stayed up late, but that doesn't stop me from going bananas today at this Smash tournament. Still going to try my best. I'm not like packing on the caffeine so I get a little crash or anything like that. No, I'm just like staying hydrated. Did a little bit of like Wario tech last night as well. Just in training mode, I was just going creative with like different movement options. Just I don't know. I'm the type of person that doesn't really follow like a set routine for my training practice schedule. For some people, they find that super useful. Like they want clear movement things they want to practice, but it's too rigid for me, too strict. I actually prefer just going into training mode and then whatever I feel like practicing in the moment, I'll just do it. So if it's something whack like full hopping, flicking the stick, so I just fast fall, land on the platform, maybe to shield, maybe to do something, but purely that movement option, I'll just practice flicking the stick. Sometimes I'll fall through the platform, but just get the rhythm down for that. And then suddenly I start moving on to futsals, thinking about them as Goomba stomps or something like that. And last night I thought, why not? I'll just record a couple of interesting ideas that came to mind. I might have a list as well. So for you brain-rotted folks out there, I'll just play it around here. So you can just sort of have that in the background, I guess, like Wario combos to study and relax to, while I just chat a bit more. But where was I going with the Wario tech? Let's see. That's something I want to talk about. I think it's just due to like me being having ADHD and having like autistic traits. I just like make lots of random and like connections between things. So like the exercises I follow, they don't just follow like movement or combos. I like to experiment and just sort of be a bit more chaotic, embrace the chaos a bit of whatever I feel like I want to improve on. So that's sort of like just an ADHD trait, and something I've come to realize that's just kind of how I operate. If I have like strict routines, I can't really adhere to them that well. I like kind of having a little bit of an idea of what I want to do, but having the flexibility to sort of experiment as well. And I think that's just how it is with my neurodivergent brain. Like the ADHD brain, not the best fit for modern life, I will say, but it has its own specialization. And from a nature perspective, it makes sense as well. I'm sort of like a character specialist in Wario. So specialize in my own life, specialize in my hobbies as well, and just self-improvement. And the more I've sort of understood how I work, I'm motivated by interest. Things are harder for me because I lack dopamine, things like that. And I do not have a standard circadian rhythm. Circadia, that's the origin of the name. Just put a Y there. That's the cat's out of the bag with that as well. What can I say? Circadian rhythm. That's probably what I call this episode. Leveling up my Wario, number 13. Circadian rhythm. Anyway, I'm almost at the venue now, and I must confess, I do have a monster, but I'm taking it easy on the monster. Anyway, enough rambling about ADHD. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, almost at the venue now. Just getting there a little earlier because there's a squad strike bracket today. Which, if you're not familiar with squad strike, that's just like a 3v3 mode where each stock is a different character. Now, traditionally on the OG Switch, the models actually took a while to load in between stocks, so the game had to like when you died, it'd like load up a new character as if it was like getting ready to enter the game for the first time. But with the Switch 2, turns out Squad Strike's a little bit faster, which is quite neat, I must say. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that bracket. It's like gives me a chance to sort of mess around with different characters before I play my tournament match. Because I'm obviously just going to run Wario in my tournament matches, but I still do experiment with different characters. So I've got like a Wolf. Joker was my original main actually. Cloud, Fox, of course. DK, Ridley. I don't know if I said Cloud. Who else? Those are the main ones. And I've sort of got 3 in mind, like the main ones I want to do, but how I'm thinking of doing this Squad Strike, I'm just going to experiment, mess around with like whoever I feel like I want to play against that certain character. So yeah, that's enough chit chat. Almost at the venue, so I'll catch you after. So yeah, let's see how this goes. No sleep. All right, let's get straight into the game. This is one of the sets I played at the late registration tournament against Teehee, the #1 Perth player at the moment, according to the PR. I mean, their tag is liar, liar. Every time I read that, I think about Anakin Skywalker's liar. So anyway, without further ado, let's get crack-a-lacking. Let's see how this game goes. So, my thoughts on this matchup, Link's kind of like a weird hybrid swordy zoner, so gotta be careful about ranges, but my airspeed's far greater than Link's is as well, even though my range is much less. So I can definitely contest in spots. Like you saw just then, I got the outer shield up B on their nair. If their nair hits like the top of my shield, it's no longer as safe as it would be normally if they did like strong nair at the bottom of the shield. So I definitely have ways to sort of like get them off and make them respect me, like combat. But yeah, overall, I'm just sort of interested to see, where do I pick my spots in this matchup? Am I forcing things a bit too much? Should I be patient more? Noticing I'm doing a lot of like just nairing on top of her at the moment. Could maybe just take it a little bit easier, play towards the win con of getting off. Almost died there, but just played it a little, well, managed to just survive basically, not get hit. Okay, this is some good sequences though. I think maybe here I could have just, because Link doesn't have much air speed, it's good to sort of, maybe I just draw on the map here, they sort of ended up here. It's good to sort of just come out and meet them. Obviously they got the bomb to like push past as well, but I don't have to overcommit too much. I can sort of just come out within like double jump distance. So I can double jump, come back, and then immediately come back. Just, I don't know, just a better threat than just running off and then just coming back, that's it. First stock going to Teehee though. Yep, let him slip past a little bit there. Definitely could have gotten something even. I like that though, just dashing back, recognizing when to just dash forward, commit on that dash attack. Okay, funky little sequence. Yeah, I'm definitely trying to keep up with Teehee, but I'm not too sure about some of the choices I've been doing. I mean, like sometimes, oh, okay, I like that one, but for the most part, like I think maybe I could be playing a little bit more optimally than just trying to find nair. That's crazy. Hold on. Tomahawk, I like that, yeah. Just reading that they'd let go of shield, would like, because they kept doing things where they'd like try punish my landings. Like I try doing nair, start something, they go for a landing, and this be this back and forth seesaw. So I thought, why not mix it up? I'll just go for a tomahawk, land, and then just rip off when they let go of shield. So that was pretty cool. They're doing a good job though. That was a good sequence from her. Okay, that was a good nair find though. Unfortunately I'm hit by the boomerang.
Yeah, May's movement's pretty slow. I think she's trying to be a bit more patient, make sure that the spots actually count. I might be rushing things a bit too much, like that grab in particular, not the best. Probably just go for something safe, some safe form of pressure, even just dash shielding, starting like my pressure that way. Okay, went for the bike. Alright, went for the half up on the bike, but she wasn't there. Nice. Yeah, so I lean back in my chair once I get hit by this, but if you didn't know the counterplay to sort of this bomb here, you can, like if you jump or neutral get up or roll, not necessarily roll, I think. If you roll, it might be fun, but a lot of the other options will get caught by this bomb since it's an active hitbox. But if you jump and then press like Z catch, you can like grab it, kind of like Rob's gyro as well. But she caught me slacking. I was too focused on this bomb here, get ledge trumped, got upbeat. And actually that was the way game 1 ended as well, so I got nothing much more to say there. Yeah, for someone a little bit sleep deprived, what can I say? I think I was playing okay. Probably just forcing Nair a bit too much. Like I was trying to like anti-air her with Nair, or like meet her head to head. By using my airspeed to sort of meet her, but what ended up happening, I think Link Nair's a bit too disjointed to sort of contest like that. Just got to play patient, find up tilts, find out of shield punishes if she's going to keep using Nair as her form of neutral. But overall, I wasn't too happy with how I was playing, and that was a neat little waft as well, what can I say? Oh, I will say though, on the topic of like mixing up, I'm usually over here for the VOD reviews, but I've moved my office studio setup to here, and yeah, I quite like this spot. So on the topic of mixing things up, mixed up where my setup is as well. Cool.
Never hurts to mix it up, that's what I say. Don't get complacent, don't get too adjusted to your norms. And I'm changing it up with this series as well. I'm thinking of including like Wario tech to study / relax to in the background of the beginning of these car talks. In a sense, one, because it draws the attention of the rotted folk, joking. Not it's not gonna be like the Subway Surfers sort of meme. It's actually, if anything, it's just to make me practice like creative movement in training mode, record those sessions, and I think it would just be a cool bit to include for the series. So thinking of just including that as a staple. If you saw that before in the car talk to the venue. And yeah, I have done a bit of a mix-up recently, actually, a bit of a change-up in my life, and that would be no longer on my ADHD medication, which to some might sound alarming. If you've got ADHD, why you're not on your medication? If ADHD is a lack of dopamine production, why not just get medication, stimulants that help with that? But unlike some people who find ADHD medication to be sort of like life-changing, like, whoa, this is like, this completely changes everything, whoa. No, I never really felt like that for me. For me, it kind of just felt like part of the puzzle, not the full solution. I found a lot of success with just therapy and medication at the time, but right now medication's not really feeling right for me. I've been enjoying myself off them, and I kind of like not being as reliant on them. Just a bit of self-love, bit of recognition of how I am. Because what I'd find is when I was on the medication, sometimes I was a bit too driven, like I had the peripheral blinders off, in a sense. So I was just too focused on what was in front of me, I'd forget things. And when I was off them, like on the come downs, let's say, I'd feel like my ADHD symptoms were worse. I'd feel like irritable or just tired and didn't have the energy to just do things. So yeah, I think it's just good to change it up and, you know, stay your observant self, stay self-aware. I'm going into it not thinking like now being off it is the solution. I'm just kind of tracking it, seeing how I go from here. So yeah, I guess I'm kind of not just an ADHD person. I do think I do have autistic traits, and I think I'm kind of like like a swirl of different like mental health symptoms. Like in some hands, I love the chaos. I love being creative. I love being free, exploring new things. But I also like attention to detail. I also like order and routine and like, but not just strict rigidity. I like having a bit of freedom in there as well. I don't know. I think I'm a walking paradox, but like yin and yang, it all works together to give me like inner peace and harmony. So I don't know. Maybe that's why I sort of do have a lot of emotional intelligence, as just growing up with my emotional sensitivities, rejection sensitivity. I've been exposed to these sort of like intense emotions before, and I found a way to sort of deal with it. So that's sort of why I like sharing what I'm going through on these car talks, and just trying to share my wisdom with you. So let's get on to the actual tourney recap. So here's the bracket path. Not the usual as round robin style bracket. And my first opponent in the round robin pools was Whisper. They play Byleth. Not the easiest player to sleep on. They really keep me on my toes, and like, I've really got to play the game. I feel like they do a good job of spacing and like using their aerials, but can get a little overwhelmed by like Wario and not really have solutions for Byleth in that matchup. Like, I'm aware that like Nair on shield isn't that good to punish unless it's staled for Wario, but I can dash grab it, for example, like just grab the landing lag rather than getting hit by the Nair on the ground, for example. Or I actually like edge guarding in that matchup as well, because Byleth doesn't have the greatest access to speed, and when I come out it's kind of like a 50-50 of like, are they side being or not? Or are they trying to get off or not? So that's sort of what I do in that matchup. Now, after Whisper, I fought Mango Tango. Great guy. I think he's really fun to hang out with. He's got cerebral palsy, but that doesn't stop him from being a true blue bloke. And true blue bloke. That's what I was trying to say. True blue bloke. And I just really enjoy playing matches with him. But I am sort of his bracket demon. I think it was 11-0 I was up on him, and I lost my first match against him. Not blaming the no sleep John, I'm maybe blaming Lilat Cruz, because I got up B spiked twice on Lilat, and then I was like, you know what, I'm fucking going back to Lilat, fuck this cunt, and his assertions that Lilat was a really good stage, I'm gonna beat his ass on Lilat. Turns out it's a pretty good stage for Cloud, and I got the waft that game, but it just sent the wrong way, and he ended up getting a limit side B on me. What am I going to do? You're not going to catch me complaining about it. But what's quite funny is, I got upset, I suppose, by Mango there. But immediately after, I fight Corey's Rob. Now, as you've probably seen from the gyro tech, the Wario tech I was practicing, I did practice a little bit on Rob, like just picking up the gyro, being more familiar with what to do when I have the gyro, comfortability throwing it, or things like that. So going into that match, I was a little ready, and my advantage state was just absolutely bananas. There was a sequence I got game 2, which I fucking wish I saved. I just forgot to do it in the set. But the start of stock 1, I was going fucking crazy. I hit like a Nair 1-2 up air, then Nair 1-2 double jump, Nair 1-2 again onto the platform, up air. Then I down tilted while still being on the platform, fell off the platform after the down tilt, up air, double jump, did the quarter waft, because there's only been like a minute in the game, so I did the quarter waft, and they were like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm going crazy. So that's sort of like a snapshot on how I was playing that game, and I ended up winning 2-1. I've never beaten Corey before in bracket, so that's a really cool sign. It was the Rob, not their PT or any of the other mains they played, and I do think it is Wario favored +1, but that doesn't stop me from like being happy with that success. I was really happy with that. Then after Corey, I fought. Wait, who was next? It wasn't Lucas, was it? Lucas, Teehee, Corey, Pop Plant, Bayonetta. That's who I fought next. Now, don't want to blow everyone's mind, but I'm a little bit off the Bayonetta slander train. I do think that character is a little overtuned, not the most fun to play against. If you remember the Cyrcadian video, I ended up versing 2 of them to lose and not get top 16, and I was very depressed after that match. But I've sort of learned what my spots are in that matchup a bit more, and like learn how to sort of like punish them for the landing lag specials. If you weren't aware, Bayonetta, if they do heaps of specials in the air and then land, they get more landing lag. So that's one access route, I suppose, to finding my openings. Like up tilt's really good. I've been doing something really weird where, like, especially for the landing lag, if I know, like, say they do side B down, I'm not going to catch them. But what I can do is, like, I'll ride the bike, jump off the bike, and, like, use it as a projectile almost. I just send it their way, and then, like, I'm, like, running in after, like, because they're in landing lag, the bike's going to hit them. Like, just going bananas with that, I suppose. And I got a nice waft. I was getting, like, comboed really high, and I just wafted, super armored, boom, got them. They weren't ready for that, so that was a cool little find, but I ended up losing 0-2. Plant made a bit of a run in the pool as well, so kudos to them. After Plant, I versed Lucas or Lonezen, another Rob. Now, it would be good if I beat Lucas, because then it would just seem like I was good at Rob on the day. And to be honest, I was hitting some fucking banana stuff on Lucas. I was hitting gyro combos, like, I'd like throw the gyro, up air to catch it, throw the gyro, like, I was going insane. Insano mode, no sleep, just going for it. So I found a lot of success versus Lucas, but score doesn't reflect that I lost 0-2. But good games from him. Yeah, he was doing a really good job. And then finally, I versed May on stream. So that's probably what I will VOD review for today's video. So, again, I've talked about May a few times. She's like the #1 PR player in Perth, Teehee. And they've been playing Link at the moment. Link, I have struggled with, but I think I understand how to sort of find my openings, deal with like Nair, for example, as a threat. I can do a lot of things like, because if they're doing it high on top of my shield, it's not going to be as safe. So I can like up B out of shield, for example, to not worry about them low profiling it. And overall, just sort of like finding my openings in that matchup against her. And yeah, I was holding my own pretty well. I was getting pretty scary last stock, but she hit me with like a bomb, which I know like can hit me if I do get up options, but you can do like jump Z catch as well. Just grab to Z catch it, which is something I didn't realize at the time. I sort of respecting it too much, and she ended up throwing the bomb down, then ledge trumping, reverse up being me, which is fucking sick on her part. That was a cool little sequence. Hit me with that game 1, but then she ended up hitting me with the same thing game 2 to kill me. So didn't learn my lesson, I suppose. Should have learned the first time. And yeah, that ends up closing out the pools. Had a nice little run in Redemption as well, but I'm not going to get into too much of that. Yeah, overall pretty fun tournament, especially for given how little sleep I had at the time. So I just knew I was going to give it my all, see how it went, not pack on the caffeine, not do anything like out of hand. Just I knew what I was getting myself into basically, and you're not going to catch me complaining about it. So I'll know for next time. Try sleep as much as possible. Obviously the best thing you can do for bracket: eating, sleeping, hydrating. Super underrated concepts for Smash Bros players. But yeah, don't know if I mentioned it in the car talk starting, and if I haven't, I'm going to definitely say it here, but Circadian rhythm, that's where Circadia comes from. If I did say it, I'll probably cut this out. So yeah, not much more to say. I'll catch you next week. Sunday's going to be the Knockout Series June edition, so getting amped for that, getting keen. So we'll see how that monthly goes. Catch you then.